Hey everyone, I want to start with a shout out to our supporters on Patreon who help make each episode possible. You can also be a part of helping us produce new episodes by making a small monthly donation at patreon.com/likeyoupodcast. And don't forget to subscribe to Like You on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode. And while you're at it, you can leave a 5-star review to help other listeners find us. And now, let's start the show.
My name is Evalina. I'm 4 years old, and I live in Connecticut. And my favorite part about the podcast is that I like the affirmations.
Hello, I'm Noah, and this is Like You, a mindfulness podcast for kids. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you to Evelina for sending us that voice message. I'm happy to hear that you like saying affirmations. We'll say some affirmations together later in this episode. First, we'll talk about what it means to be present in the moment. So, listeners of all ages, find a place to listen where you feel comfortable and safe. As I ask questions and invite you to say affirmations, you're welcome to speak out loud, or as always, you can just think your responses quietly in your mind. Let's get started with a breathing exercise to help us relax and focus our minds. First, take a few moments to just notice how you are already breathing. However you're breathing is fine. Just notice, is it fast or slow? Is it shallow or deep? If you can feel your chest going up and down, but not your stomach, that may be a shallow breath. With a deep breath, you'll notice that both your chest and your stomach are rising when you breathe. We're going to do an exercise now that helps you relax by breathing slowly and deeply. It is called square breathing. Start by using your finger to trace an invisible square in the air in front of you. Or if you like to draw and you have some paper nearby, you could draw a square on the piece of paper as other listeners trace it in the air. Starting with the bottom corner of the square, trace a straight line up, then trace a sideways line. Next, trace a straight line down. And finally, make another sideways line going the other direction, back to the corner where you started. Now you've made a square, either tracing it with your finger in the air or drawing it on a piece of paper. Next, we'll trace over that same square several times as we add breathing. When you trace the line up, you'll breathe in deep for a count of 3. When you trace the line sideways, you will pause and hold your breath for a count of 3. As you trace the line down, you'll breathe out slowly for a count of 3. And as you trace the other sideways line, you'll pause once again, doing nothing for a count of 3. Now you know what to do, so let's try tracing a few squares as we breathe. We'll do a full minute of breathing. Try not to focus on anything else besides breathing and tracing the square. Here we go. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Pause, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Pause, 1, 2, 3. Trace up, 1, 2, 3. Now sideways, 1, 2, 3. Trace down, 1, 2, 3. And sideways, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Pause, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2, 3. Over. 1, 2, 3. Down. 1, 2, 3. Over. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. And a final pause. 1, 2, 3. Great work. You can breathe naturally now. How do you feel after a full minute of square breathing? Now, on the count of 3, we'll all say, I like me. 1, 2, 3. I like me. I like you too. Exactly as you are, right here, right now, in this very moment. I like you. Do you ever think about what it means to be present in the moment? Some people spend a lot of time thinking about the past, everything that has happened before right now. If you enjoy thinking and talking about memories, you may be someone who thinks a lot about the past. And some people also enjoy thinking about the future, everything that has not happened yet. If you have lots of dreams about what you want to do when you're older, or if you ask lots of questions like, when are we eating dinner? When can we go to the park? When is it going to be my birthday? Then you may be someone who thinks a lot about the future. But what does it mean to be in the present? The present is what is happening right now. Right now. Actually, a lot of mindfulness is about practicing being aware of what is happening in the present moment around you and inside you. We sometimes refer to this as simply being present. Being present means that instead of being focused on what happened yesterday or an hour ago, or what could happen tomorrow or next year, you are simply here, now, thinking about nothing except this moment. And if you really think about it, you spend all your time in the present moment. The past has already passed, and it can't be changed. The future isn't here yet. There's no way to know what will happen. But you experience all of your life in the present moment. So why not practice really noticing the present moment? If you ever find yourself feeling worried or scared about something that's happening tomorrow or next week, or if you ever feel frustrated and impatient that you want something to happen and you don't want to wait, it might help to practice being present in the moment. One way to do this is to do what we do in each episode when we practice breathing. During a breathing exercise, you're no longer thinking about the past or the future. You're just thinking about each breath in and out. Another way to practice being present is to check in with your 5 senses. We did an entire episode about focusing on your 5 senses. If you want to listen to that one, you can look for an episode called Countdown to Mindfulness. For now, we'll just do a quick version. I'll ask you 5 questions to help you focus on your senses. Don't spend too much time thinking about each question. Just answer with whatever you notice first. And you can answer out loud or inside your head. Here we go. What is one thing you can see right now? What is one thing you can hear right now? What is one thing you can smell right now? What is one thing you can feel or touch right now? And what is one thing you can taste right now, even if all you taste is the inside of your mouth? You can ask yourself those 5 questions to check in with your senses anytime you want to practice being present in the moment. But here's the coolest thing about being present in the moment. It doesn't take any fancy exercise or routine to do it. Being present doesn't mean that you have to stop, drop everything you're doing, and just sit there quietly. You can be present with whatever you're doing just by paying attention to what you're doing. So, when you're playing, notice the way you're playing and how it makes you feel. When you're eating, notice the smells and the tastes. When you're walking, notice the way your feet feel on the ground. When you're drawing, notice how the crayon feels on the paper and how the colors look. Simply be in the moment where you are and pay attention to what's happening around you and inside you. Right now, let's say a few affirmations that can help you remember to practice being present in the moment. I'll say each affirmation twice. You can listen the first time, then say it with me the second time. I am thankful for this moment. I am thankful for this moment. I have everything I need. I have everything I need. I love me for simply being me. I love me for simply being me. I can live in the moment. I can live in the moment. Being present is a present. Being present is a present. I matter. I matter. I am wonderful just the way I am. I am wonderful just the way I am. Now let's smile and take a few slow, deep breaths as we wind down our time together. If any of those affirmations stood out to you, feel free to write them down or just store them safely in your mind to say when you need it. Right now, I'd like to play an affirmation sent to us by a podcast listener. I'll let him introduce himself and tell you his favorite affirmation.
Hello, my name is Shay, and I'm 6 years old. My favorite affirmation is, I like me.
Thank you, Shay. Sometimes the simplest affirmations are the most meaningful, and that's why we start every episode by saying, I like me. If any other listeners have an affirmation that is special to you, I would love to hear it. You can have a grown-up check our website or show notes for ways to get in touch and share your affirmations. Right now, I'm going to play a new song called Forever Now. While you listen, you can try more square breathing, or get up and dance, or just close your eyes and listen. But whatever you do as you listen, try to be present in the moment. If today is always today, and tomorrow is a day away, when I wake up tomorrow, will today be yesterday? Is the future ever now? And when did the past end? How come it is always now? And when did time begin? I dream about where I'll go, and I remember all the places I've been. But when I open my eyes and look around, right now is what I'm living in. It's always Now is where I rest. Now is where I play. Now is where I think about what happened yesterday. Now is where I grow. Now is where I plan. Now is where I learn to love the person that I am. It's always now, forever now. It's always now, forever now. I can't wait to spend some time together again soon. Until then, I like you, I'm proud of you, and I'm glad we are friends. Have a happy and peaceful day. Like You is a production of Perpetual Motion. It is made possible by our supporters on Patreon. Become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/likeyoupodcast. Like You is written and hosted by me, Noah Glenn. I also composed and performed the Like You theme music and other music that appeared in the episode. Our podcast cover art was illustrated by Maya Sane, and our episode art is created by Lindsay Glenn. If you've enjoyed the podcast, I hope you'll tell your friends and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can also send us voice memos, drawings, and pictures by having a grown-up send an email to hello@likeyoupodcast.com, or if they follow us on Instagram, they can send us a direct message there. Visit our website at likeyoupodcast.com to find show notes, transcripts for each episode, an online shop, and other info about the show. And be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at LikeYouPod. Thanks for listening.